Hey Square Bears, what's up? It's your girl Chris and welcome to Beauty MC Squared. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you very quickly how I did my color retouch for my hair. This is hair that I received over a month ago from Her Hair Company. If you guys are interested in any one of the two reviews that I have up right now on my channel, click on this link right here for my initial unboxing unveiling. Or you click right there, okay, for my official 4-week review. Yeah. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys really quickly about how I did my color retouch. I decided to go gray with my color because that is a color that out of all the colors that I've ever worn, I've never worn gray before. And this is just a color that I kind of happened upon through trial and error and experimenting some things. And it was in an in-between phase of picking out another color to put on top of it that I just fell in love with this gray. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I really like this gray. This gray is zippity, zippity dope. My color started to fade out at the top. I was going a little red up here because of the semi-permanent color that I used to kind of darken it up. And I also had the gray kind of peekabooing through my hair. And I decided to like make the gray a little bit more prominent and making the actual ombre as opposed to like a peekaboo kind of gray look. Really quickly, I'm just going to show you and kind of explain through the process of what I'm doing. Make sure that you guys check out the information either at the end of this video or at the bottom of this video in the description box if you guys want to have any information about products that I use, yeah, and steps that I've taken. Hopefully I answer all the questions that you might have in regards to the coloring process. All right, so without further ado, let's get started into the video. Boom. Okay, so right here what I'm doing is I'm separating the hair that is at the crown of my head and putting it in a top knot ponytail. And that's just to kind of like, you know, just push it out of the way because I knew I didn't want any of the color to go on that hair. The hair around the crown and around the frame of my face is usually hair that if I'm going to cut any length, I usually cut that area the most. It's also where I have the shortest bundles. You know, I have the 16-inch closure and I also have the 18-inch bundle of hair right at the crown area. So where the length of those bundles end is really where the ombre begins. So I didn't feel a need to kind of include all the hair when I began to ombre the hair. So the next thing that I did was with the remaining hair that is resting all of my shoulders, I just mixed up a concoction. I mixed up some bleach powder as well as some developer. This time I used a 30 volume developer. I knew that the majority of my hair has already been processed and lightened to a certain level and it was already that gray color. And so it's just a matter of me trying to play catch up with the rest of my hair and try to speed up that process as much as possible. One thing that I did do was I added a little bit more developer than I'm used to make that consistency a little bit more soupy, because I find that when the bleach starts to process, it swells up anyway and it kind of balloons up and gets a little bit, you know, fluffier or stiffer or however you want to, you know, say the consistency. So I want to make sure that I don't mix it up too thick. I want to make sure that it's sort of runny. Also, it allows me to easily spread the product to like evenly coat it all over the hair. It easily penetrates throughout the strand, so I can take wider chunks and kind of run it through the hair and not worry about there being any, you know, blotches or spots or anything like that. It's easier to penetrate through all the hair strands. And as you can see, I'm just kind of running the brush through and kind of eyeballing how much of the ombre I want and how much lightness I want with the hair. After that process, I just went ahead and rinsed out the hair using cold water. It uses heat to process and it gets hot, so you don't want to rinse it out with hot water because it's going to continue to process and the hair is going to, you know, start frying a little bit. So when you do rinse out the product, you want to make sure that you use cool water. It doesn't have to be ice cold, but cool water, something that's going to cool down the activation of that product. Also keep in mind that the product has a processing time to up to 40 minutes, so it can only process for so long till it won't process anymore. At this point, I looked at the level of how the hair is. Still, there are those areas that are a little bit lighter than others, but I already knew that because I'm working with previously bleached hair versus non-bleached hair, so it's going to be kind of hard matching that up. And it's fine with me. I don't really need it to be matched up. I kind of like the dimension of it. So it's totally all right with me to have that difference in color and tone. So I went ahead and repeated the process all over again once the hair was dry. You want to make sure that the hair is completely dried before you add bleach again. So I went ahead and did the exact same process, and I allowed it to process for the allotted amount of time, and I just carefully washed it. I do want to note that I did not sit under the dryer. I did not use a hair dryer. I just used regular room temperature and the heat of my shoulders or my body heat, however that worked, to kind of process the hair for me, because again, I want to be very careful. I'm working with both previously bleached hair as well as non-bleached hair, and I don't want to rock the boat too much with doing all this crazy stuff and just kind of like overextending my hair coloring options here. I did let it process for the entirety of 40 minutes and I rinsed it out again. Now at this point of the processing, I noticed that in rinsing it out, the hair was feeling more and more weaker, and I just felt like no matter what level this is, I don't care how gold it is, I'm not going to try to get it any paler. It wasn't feeling straw-like yet, but it was getting there. So what I did was I immediately shampooed it. I did a deep conditioning treatment as well as a keratin treatment. I received this ion protein treatment packet from Sally's when I got my hair color. The customer service rep noticed that I was buying hair color as well as bleach, and so, you know, suggested this like little protein treatment. I have a lot of this package left, so I didn't use a lot of it, which is great. And I went and did an extensive like overnight conditioning treatment on the hair. So after I rinsed it out, what I did was I immediately started to treat the top layer of my hair, the hair that I wanted to remain black or really, really dark, and correct the color up there. So I just used a simple permanent black hair color and mixed it up with the 20 volume developer to make sure that it penetrates correctly. After I applied it with a color brush, and then towards the bottom I brushed on, like randomly brushed on, a hair color from IMAN called Titanium. So it's a silver based hair color, and it really picked up a lot of the golds that was still in the hair, even though some still remained. I diluted the hair solution a lot in order to just take a lot of the gold out, and so that's how I got my color, right? So there you have it, you guys. That is the final result over here. Yep, it's just like a rustic kind of tarnished gold, titanium, precious metals kind of ombre. I'm all over the place with this color, but I'm really, really satisfied. It's not a complicated process. The only advice that I can give you is to just kind of be very mindful when doing this process while the hair is still attached to your head. If you have an opportunity to do this to the bundles off of your head, I would probably suggest that, especially if you're not professional. It's just easier that way. You don't worry about splashing any products on your neck or just being kind of uneven. It's kind of easier to control when it's off your head. Other thing that I would caution you guys, which I didn't do, is just make sure that you have enough product. I'm dealing with like 5 bundles of hair that is 16 inches and longer, and I got like 1 bottle of black hair color and one tube of black hair color and 1 tube of titanium hair color. And although I'm only doing like half of my hair that titanium color, you know, I should have thought a little bit more and got at least 2 packages. So just make sure that you have like more than enough, and if you don't use it all, you can always return it, just depending on like what store you get it from. I know that Sally's is really good with accepting returns of products that you don't use, or you use a little bit of it and you don't need it anymore or whatever. Sally's is real good with accepting returns like that. So it's better to buy more than be short at the end. And so I need to follow my own advice. But other than that, you guys, I'm really satisfied with this results. How I curl my hair is really easy. I use my Remington curling wand. I've used a curling wand in one of my videos, or at least, no, I used it in a couple of my videos before. So if you guys are interested in how I, you know, curl wand my hair, go ahead and check out any one of the videos listed below and it'll take you there. But this curling wand was only $25. I got it from Target. I absolutely love it. And I love how it just gives me just this big wavy texture. What I use my hair to like maintain the shine and luster is simple coconut oil that you can get from your grocery store, $2 if that. It's really great for my hair. I love it for my natural hair. I absolutely love it for this hair. It keeps it shiny, it keeps it moisturized, it keeps it easy to brush through. I don't have a problem with tangles or shedding or anything like that, especially since I've been through such an ambitious like coloring experiment with the hair. I'm really impressed by that. And I prefer the coconut oil over argan oil, if that means anything to you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot from this coloring tutorial. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Squarebears.
Hello, divas. You have now entered the realm of beauty